Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and kitties. Today, I'll be riding this monster, the GL 1800 Goldwing. Oh my gosh, this thing is massive. Okay, look at this thing. Okay, this is the biggest bike I've ever ridden. Bar none, bar none. Volume, there you go. Wow, CB, which is the radio here. Oh my gosh. Okay, while we're waiting, ergonomics check. Pretty flat-footed. I'm 6'3", 200 to 220 pounds, 32-inch inseam. The peg somewhat touches a bit, but nothing big. This bike scares me. This is the biggest and the heaviest bike I've ever ridden. It's not power mirrors. Okay. I'm not gonna touch almost everything in this thing because look at that. Buttons here, buttons there, buttons here, cruise control. Scary. This bike sounds good. This bike is legendary. This is the 2017 GL 1800 Goldwing. This engine is one of the few boxer engines on the market right now. This one has a flat 6 engine, just like Porsche's. We're about to start. Many thanks to Honda North America, Honda Motorcycles Division. I'm here at the Progressive International Motorcycle Show here in Long Beach. And this thing is just like a car. The gauges are like a car. Wow. This is the ultimate grand touring motorcycle. People calls this People calls this rig a car already because it's so much things that's going on in here. And I can tell it's very smooth. This bike is just nuts. This bike is 3 times my body weight basically. It's close to 900 pounds. But so far so good. The center of gravity, thanks to its boxer engine, it works really well. I'm just gonna give you guys a nice taste test on this bike. I'm just so intimidated riding this thing. Rev matching in this bike is pretty good. I like the way this engine revs. Oh, this one has a satellite radio. How ridiculous. Oh yeah, it has a reverse gear. If I put it to neutral, there's a reverse gear down there. And it also has a sport mode. I can hear its radiator fans going. So smooth. Very comfortable too. Now we're experiencing traffic here in the Long Beach Convention Center area. Actually, low speed ability on this bike is pretty damn good. It doesn't even feel nervous. Not at all. It has almost everything that you need in a motorcycle. Like heated seats, heated handlebars, and more. Even I can't describe. You can really hear its radiator around here. The seats are like sofa good. It's like sitting on a lazy boy. Oh my gosh, I'm just excited riding this thing because I've been planning to rent this just to get a very good impression on this very iconic bike. Beautiful Long Beach right now. There's some Ducati guys on my left side right now. They're just gonna go wheelies and something. This ride takes a little while, unfortunately. When I used to have my Integra, I was like baffled back then because my Integra back then is a 1.7 liter GSR, and this bike has a bigger engine than my Integra. This is a 1800 liter. Those Ducati guys, I knew they're gonna fly, see? Yeah, Hayabusa, yeah. I don't have enough experience to roll with those guys anyway. And plus, we're in a guided tour. ZX-10R, ST, yeah. So far, ergonomics, comfort, I can't say yet. This humongous windscreen, I can't say it yet too because we're not moving. But once we get moving, I think this windscreen will do its very good job. It's very responsive. The rear brakes is very, very direct. Oh. I keep hearing that horn. Stupid. I have to adjust my hands. And there's an RX-7 over there. The FC. There you go. It feels very nimble. And I'm getting some little of head buffeting here. The rear brakes really helps. And you don't really feel the weight of this bike. Because it's so low. Look at this. I'm almost full lean already. It doesn't really feel clumsy or floaty or whatsoever. The bike is very roomy. Okay, here we go. Very relaxing to ride. The clutch is almost telepathic already. Unlike the 500X that I rode earlier, the clutch is... the spring is a little heavy, but if you upshift this, it's like riding in a quick shifter. The spring on the clutch lever is a little on the heavy side. And the front brakes, very direct, no play. Same goes with the rear brakes. Wow, the size disappears once you're moving. This bike is one of the only few Japanese bikes. If you roll with a Harley, guys, they won't touch you. Nothing. It's basically a floating bed on wheels. No wonder people loves this thing. Low speed maneuvering, it's pretty good. Of course, I'm not used to this heft and width of this bike. Funny thing. Oh my gosh, I'm just... this is a whole nother league of a motorcycle. Take note, this is a 2017 model. This is not the 2018 that just released online and everywhere else. For folks on the other side of the Pacific, the Philippines will get its first ever Goldwing in the local market. The throttle modulation is just creamy fluid. Look at that. I haven't put my foot down yet. It's low center of gravity really does its work here right now. So we're doing some walking speeds and I can still do a good job balancing it. Look at that. It's amazing for a bike that is twice the weight, almost twice the weight of a BMW GS, or actually no, let's say an FJ09 can be this easy to ride. Very, very impressive. I'm just very impressed with this bike. No wonder people loves the Goldwing. And Honda keeps on evolving this bike generation after generation. From the old GL1000 back in the 70s to this one, to the 17, and the next generation 18. Wow, the clutch bite is pretty perfect. It's not like the CB500 where the bite comes off very close prior to releasing your lever. See, it's just seamless. It's so easy to ride. You know, I'm a beginner without a bike yet. See, it's never floaty. See, look at that. It just transitions like nothing. Oh yeah, the turn signals are self-canceling. So for some riders that will be very helpful. so easy to ride. So easy to ride. One thing weird about this bike, it doesn't have a gear shift indicator. I kind of noticed that right now. Yeah, there's no gear shift indicator. And legroom, the legroom is just fine. I don't feel cramp up on it. It's not like the Electric Glide where I'm like sitting in a low chair or in a third row seat of inside an SUV or in a second row in a Toyota Fortuner. The seat in this thing feels like you're riding in a naked bike almost. Vibe issues, minimal to none. Most of the vibes I feel is on the handlebars. Other than that, none. Almost none. I don't feel it on my seats. I don't feel it on my legs. Just minimal on my grab handles, on the handlebar. Other than that, and on this highway speeds, this humongous windshield is not working for my height per se. I'm really feeling the head buffeting right now. Yeah, I'm too tall for this bike. Look at that. It's just seamless. No wonder a lot of people loves this bike. You could go to Las Vegas easily on this bike from LA. I think this one has a 5-speed transmission because I can't even upshift anymore. It's handling this crosswinds pretty well. Well, of course, I'm riding a heavier bike, so instead of bike flops around, I'm flopping around. Nothing. I'm doing around 110 kilometers, 100 to 110 kilometers an hour, or 60 to 65 miles an hour. It's doing a very, very good job. I can say, now I know why vouch for this bike for their lives, because average ownership of this bike, of the Goldwing series, they racked up no less than 100,000 miles. They racked this bike up like longer than most cars on the streets right now. I overheard one conversation. He has a friend who owns a Goldwing. It had 235 miles. 235,000 miles. I said, what? Crazy rider. Iron butt, what you call it. Another thing about the seat on this bike, it grips your jeans like a Velcro. So it might give you a little bit of a wedgie at some point, because these seats are so grippy, yet comfortable though. Wow, the wind is just beating on us, but it's a very, very comfortable bike. I hope I don't. Oh, boy. Nothing. Just like a few. Nice Mark 1 Rabbit. This is one of the few bikes that has a shaft drive, just like the VF 1200 adventure bike, some GS, the R9T, the Super Tenere. Yeah, and the Shadow Fury too, the Honda Fury, the West Coast custom. What is this? Orange County chopper look cruiser from Honda. Oh my God, this is so relaxing to ride. But I'm not so sure to use this bike every freaking day, because this bike is as wide as a Suzuki Jimny, the tiny SUV that is available for the rest of the world except the US and Canada. But if you just want to have a nice cruise cross country or cross continents, this will be a nice bike. I have no problems with this bike. Besides that, when you try to, with my inseam, 32-inch inseam in my height, sometimes this little trim kind of hits my leg. So if I try to put my legs down, if I put my leg down a bit, I have to be very cautious so I won't have to hit the trim. But it's in black plastic, so it works pretty well. It won't scratch the paint or anything. But it's just a point to note. The side mirrors it's just like a Honda Pilot, big. It's like it's a car side mirror. Oh, he's very careful. That the guide is just attacking it. I want to attack it myself, but nah, I'm just gonna take it easy. It's so relaxing. Zero stress bike. Compared to some BMWs, the K1600 or the Indian Chieftain, it's a bike you can keep. It's a keeper. It's a keeper bike. It's a bike that when you retire and you don't want to have a bike that has character or whatsoever like that, and you just want a bike that can munch on the miles, just get this. If you don't want any annoyances of a Harley Davidson, look at that. Nothing. Well, supple suspension. As you can see, the blue Goldwing, it's just doing its job really good. I just don't feel the weight. It's not like the Electro Glide. It feels very top heavy. The Roadmaster, I haven't ridden the Roadmaster, but I think it's the same thing because I've ridden the Chieftain. Don't get me wrong, the Chieftain is a very, very good bike. The K1600, I'm just scared to own that thing because it's too too expensive. Well, the Goldwing is also expensive, but at least you don't have to think about its high maintenance costs. The Goldwing is just take care of it, do some periodic maintenance, and that's it. The K1600 is a very good bike in a European sense, but the Goldwing is a class of its own. Yeah, the Goldwing is a class of its own. It's if you go to a Harley meet, nobody will touch you. You're one of them most of the time because it's still a cool bike on every scale. Unless if you hate heavy bikes, there's some riders who hates heavy bikes with a passion. If you hate heavy bikes like that, okay. If you want the lightest bike out there, oh, nice Mini. If you just want to have the lightest bike out there, just get a bicycle and put a motor in it. That's it. Do what Shuichiro Honda did, and they put a CBR engine in it, and then there you go. You can destroy some boosas and stuff. It has a very mechanical transmission. It goes glug glug, just like a Harley. Part of its charm, I think. Unless if I quick shift it, so problem. The gear selector is easy to modulate. It sounds like a CB1100 because the sound of this engine is somewhat similar, but the CB11 is a parallel 4, I think. Don't quote me on it. See, there's so many comms here. Mute. I'll just put on the mute, whatever. It went to neutral by accident. Whoops. For a beginner like me, riding a Goldwing, what I'd say is it will surprise you. Because at first, just like the R1200 GS, it's a very intimidating bike at first if you look at it. But after you've ridden it, or the Africa Twin too, once you ride it, despite with your lack of experience, if you love Goldwings, there you go. It's better to rent one of these first before you buy it, because at least you can gauge its heft, its ability, its dynamics, and you can rent a Goldwing anywhere. Yeah, I recommend renting this bike first before you buy it. Because, and same as the Harley Davidsons around, it's available anywhere to rent. This is one of the premier touring bikes. Grand Touring, not Gran Turismo, Grand Touring. That's different. Gran Turismo, you gotta be fast, but at the same time, it's luxurious to ride every day. No, this is a Grand Tour. This bike will soothe you. If you don't want to attack the mountains, like what you do in a naked or a sport bike, or try to stand out like you're riding in a Harley or Indian or a GS. Surprisingly, Goldwings, they don't stand out despite its size. People think of you like you're riding a two-wheeled car. It's almost as not as anonymous. It's still a iconic bike, but they think of you as riding a two-wheeled Accord. That's how I feel riding in this thing. The gauges is like a real Honda. It's like a car. There's some niggles that I hear every time I hit some cracks and potholes. There's some rattles that I hear. Maybe it's only this bike or whatsoever. I'm not so sure. Also, another thing about this bike, the windshield doesn't adjust. That's a loud ass Miata. Yeah, it doesn't have an adjustable windshield like some of its competitors. The Chieftain has one, I think the Roadmaster too. But you have a little vent here. Ah, it closes for cold weather. Now I know. Ooh. It's fun to toggle around. The guy next to me just smiles and giggles right now. He kind of likes the F6B, basically a Goldwing without the top case. A lighter bike, of course, like that. See, easy to downshift, rev match, easy. I could keep my helmet cracked up because of this very highly effective windshield. The windshield is effective on city driving or some short suburban driving, but on the highway it baffles my head. Other than that, the windshield really works. I wonder what will the 2018 GL 1800 will fare against this bike. This bike has been around since 2000s, I think. And on its first year, it won the motorcycle of the year. That's how punk ass this bike is. See, simple to reach. Okay. I'm not touching that. Info. There you go. Next. Preload. Oh, it has a preload adjuster and then a headlight adjustment. There, I'll just put it on air temp. Oh boy. Oh, those are the BMW crew over there. Okay. That K1600 bagger over there. I'll be riding with them later. As you can see, it has speakers here. There's a speaker at the back. And it has a center stand. Just noticed that. I don't think I'll lane split in this thing because of how big this bike really is. The side mirror will be your gauge on how wide this bike really is. It's wider than your shoulders, so you can't lane split like a naked bike. Oh my gosh, we're gonna hit red again. I'm running late on my other ride. Oh well, I'll just cry on the corner later. I think this is where the fuel is at, and then there's a little cubby over here. And I think this is the connector for your CB radio. Yup, there's a preload adjustment right here, and headlight adjustment. And this is your controls for your Navi. Yeah, and I don't know any of that. Come on, green already. The foot pegs on this bike bigger than most adventure touring bikes. It's almost like a dirt bike already. Look at that. It's as big as my foot. This is a bike where you can be comfortable with. It's not a bike to have too much fun because the way it is, you can't lane split on this bike. If you have the skills, you can, I don't know if you can wheelie this bike, but it's a handsome bike nevertheless. A very handsome bike. Beautiful Long Beach. I love the smell of the ocean from here. Yeah. Other than of course, it's big. You just have to be careful lifting up your foot after you stop. Once you get accelerated, You just take it easy, lifting up your foot because you don't have much of room to shuffle your leg around. Surprising, this bike is more comfortable than the Electroglide Harley. The riding position is like a naked bike with a wider handlebars. Very nice. I'm very, very impressed. I recommend this to everyone. Ride this bike to know what this bike can offer. But rent this bike first before you buy it. It'll surprise you. Okay. Off. Off. That's a nice logo. Kickstand's pretty good since it's low enough. Alright. This is the GL 1800 Goldwing on its last year. Epic bike. So 2 thumbs up. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.